Hello, students. In our group communication, we have studied the conference. But now, as we have studied meetings in our earlier lecture, this theoretical part is going to be studied in further detail. When we study the meetings, we must learn that the problems and the issues that are not solved during the discussion in the meeting are again referred and taken up for discussion. And these issues or the problems that are very difficult to solve, we have seen certain committees are appointed by the meeting or by the parent body. It is called as a parent body. Those who take the decision to appoint the committee, समिती नेमण्यासाठी जे लोक अधिकाराने निर्णय घेतात त्या बॉडीला त्या लोकांना पॅरेंट बॉडी असं म्हटलं जातं. तर दिस पॅरेंट बॉडी टेक्स अ डिसिजन and they allot a specific subject, topic, problem for the committee to discuss and to study and to suggest some of the recommendations. So, we have to go through the definitions. What are the workings and how a committee works? That we are going to study as we go ahead. As we have seen, a committee consists of a group of persons to whom the powers and functions are assigned by an authority is a definition made by Peter Little. Peter Little, in his book Communication in Business, defines committee a small body of people appointed by the parent body to discuss, to meet certain matters. These terms of reference, the subject of reference is defined, and the committee discusses and makes some decisions and suggests them to the parent body. Louis Allen, who defined committee, a body of persons organized or elected to meet on an organized basis for the consideration of matters brought before it. This also defines the work and the nature of the committee. So, therefore, there are certain features that we can find here. A committee is a small group of people elected, appointed by the organization, company, or association. As we have seen, the members are asked to examine, issue, investigate, review, and offer some of the suggestions. Committee is collectively responsible for discussing and deciding matters. So, committee is therefore a formal body with one member who is to function as a chairman. A committee is formed with a specific purpose, say, examining a proposal, inquiring into the causes of problem and offering recommendations. Members are collectively responsible for discussing and deciding matters. So these we have seen the committees. In an administrative setup, there are number of committees which are working in the administrative function, and these committees may be called by various names. It's a defined purpose, nature, indicates the types of committees, and that is what we have: executive committee or managing committees. Every organization elects or selects managing or executive committee in its annual meeting. The committee is entrusted with the job of day-to-day administration of the organization. So, this type of committee is also expected to implement the policy decisions of the general body, comprising of financiers and shareholders of the organization. Advisory committee is the next committee that we see. Committee consists of experts or persons representing various groups. Advisory committee is offering expertise, advice, and the advice may not be binding on the executive committee, but they have their say in such a committee. Another type of committee is a line committee and staff committee. A staff committee is an advisory type of committee, while line committee is in the line, so it is executive committee. Staff committee advises the management about problems and views of the employees. And line committees are those that take the decisions. That takes the decisions about effective functioning of the organization. Line and staff committees both are integral part of the internal organization. Next, we have standing committee or ad hoc committees. Standing committees is a permanent committee. It is authorized by managing committee to take decisions. Organizations have standing committees like finance committee, bonus committee, or salary committee, like this. An ad hoc committee, on the other hand, is a committee appointed for a specific purpose. The committee is dissolved when the purpose for which the committee is appointed is achieved. So, an ad hoc committee is temporary committee. Cooperative housing society wants major repairs to be carried out. So, the society may authorize the managing company to appoint an ad hoc committee. As soon as the repairs of the society gets over, the committee gets dissolved. So, like this, we have some ad hoc committees. Selection committee, interview committee are ad hoc committees. Then, formal committee, informal committee. We have seen the formal committees are working very formally. They are constituted according to the set of rules, procedures, and policies, governing policies, the proper functioning of the organization and association. These formal committees have their duties and responsibilities very clear cut manner. While informal committees are committees which are formed merely for the purpose of collective thinking. These committees have no fixed agenda, no fixed authority. They do not receive written notices. Their recommendations are only advice, and such committee meet over a cup of tea. Like this, we have informal committees. Our next concern is what are the important features of successful committee. Size. A committee must be constituted compactly. There should be members. The members should be competent. And right now, the numbers. Ideally speaking, the number for the committee needs to be 5 to 7. A large committee will make a free exchange of ideas and thoughts difficult. So, the size does matter. Chairman. A competent chairman who is neither or too overbearing nor too unassertive can succeed in giving proper orientation to the discussion at the meetings of the committees. The chairman who conducts the proceedings of the meeting able and doesn't allow the other members to monopolize the discussion and tactfully makes every member participate and stick to the agenda succeeds in pulling different viewpoints and taking some concrete decisions. Next is quorum. A committee meeting convened in the numbers. How much member should be there? Minimum number necessary for the meeting to proceed and take decisions. Score. Proper terms of reference, the authority and scope of committee should be clearly defined in the terms of reference according to which committee is constituted. The scope and authority should not be too broad and too vague. The terms of reference and subject should be clearly stated. The committee's work should be reviewed periodically and it should be working satisfactorily. So there should be proper terms of reference, means subject. Competent members, much of the success of the committee work depends on the competent members. Favoritism hampers the work. The reservations hampers the work. The members who have the necessary qualification to be entrusted with the committee work, they must express themselves clearly with ability. They should be capable of group thinking, working in a group. They should not aim at a compromise in situations and decisions. Proper selection of subject is also one of the feature. Selection of a proper subject is very much needed. If they are not engaged in research, research is not an individual's work. So the subject should be properly chosen and there should be minutes. After the meetings, the committee members taking certain decisions, minutes are also to be prepared. It's a legal record and that we need to think of. Then we have seen for what purposes the committees are appointed. The purposes are, as we have seen, to discuss and debate matters, to gather information, to take decisions by majority of votes. Committee meetings are held to seek advice, to coordinate the organization of business activities, to attain complaints and grievances, inform and instruct, to negotiate and bargain. For these, the meetings may be organized. What are the advantages that we see of a committee? Better quality decisions. Committees make expert opinion available since the members are experts who bring a vast amount of knowledge and experience to bear on the discussion. Generate new ideas. New ideas are expressed in the course of discussion. These ideas are likely to influence the activities of the organization in future. Committees draw latent talent. Some new entrants, new participants, new members, they get the chance to express their view, their talent, and coordinate with the activity. Obtain feedback. Organizations succeed in getting reactions through discussion and take measures in the light of feedback. Promote coordination. Committees promote coordination among the various departments of the organization. Committees are constituted of employees from different departments of the organization. At meetings of the committee, the members are bound to come closer and develop better understanding among themselves. There is a bright chance of implementation of decisions. Committee members encourage members to cooperate and coordinate the departmental activities. There is a bright chance to implement this. It's also a training ground for new executives, young executives, juniors. This is also one of the advantage. We have seen if we committee members are taking part, they bring the certain views and ideas of that class. So it's a kind of a delegation of power. The approach, acknowledgement, equality, democratization is the delegation of power that we see here. Of course, it generates a good quality relations, employer or employee relations. Then committees transmit information uniformly. When information is given in a committee consisting of various departmental heads, it ensures that there is a uniform transmission of information. They thus help the members to cooperate and coordinate the departmental activities. There is a bright chance of decisions arrived at being implemented. Consolidation of authority is also one of the advantage. Committees achieve consolidation of authority. There are matters which concern more than no department. It may be impossible for the manager of any one department to take decision. A committee comprising of heads may be appointed under the chairmanship of the general manager. Such a committee is authorized to take decisions. Authority is consolidated in a committee instead of an individual. At the same time, it safeguards the employees' interests. Employees put their cases before the committee through the representation and not an individual, and this safeguard the employee's interest. We have seen. Now the disadvantages also needs to be looked into. So while working on the disadvantages, we can take the most advantage of the committees. The profit or the benefits of the committee can be seen. Delay. Committees take time if they are not meeting regularly, taking over or too much of time, it gets delayed. The results are awaited, and that causes the problem. Compromise decisions. Of course, quite often the committee decisions are a compromise decisions between members. Sometimes just to support, or just to stand by, or just to second the decisions. Such compromise decisions are taken, and that are not good for the organization. Expensive and time consuming. Since the discussions in a committee meetings are stretched over a period of time, and rather than achieving something, it's time consuming, and so that the committee expenses goes up, so it becomes expensive and as well as it's time consuming too. A committee is made of unfit, selected by unwilling to do the unnecessary. A committee is a place where the loneliness is thought is replaced by the togetherness of nothingness. Another one, split responsibility. The authority of the committee is divided among the members. The powers gets divided. So no one takes the credit or no one takes the responsibility. And that has an adverse effect on the functioning of the organization. Then there is a minority tyranny. Trying to gain the consensus or uniformity, committees yield to the wishes of the minority. Often indecisive, committee work in a group. Their deliberations therefore often lead to indecision, and that is what we have seen. Indecisiveness causes the problem or disadvantages. Committee loses its group character. It may lose its character and the group may join in combat until the decisions are reached. So like this, we have seen the disadvantages. We need to see how the disadvantages are to be removed so that we can take the more and more advantages of the committee and to create a good kind of ambience and good working conditions through the committee work. So like this, we need to understand and read and use this as one of the advantage for the good conduct of the organization. That's all. Thank you.